excited to have Katie back on. I really wanted to get you on YouTube and I couldn't find you live. It wouldn't work for me, so I'm like, oh, let's just do it again.
Yeah, why not?
How terrible to have to catch up, and you've got updated information anyway, so I'm like, cool, let's just have a chat. If you are jumping on while we're live, we can't see the phone, so just so you know, we'll say hello later.
Yeah.
But I'm just keen to get stuck into, learning a little bit more about all the things you've been up to, and, well, Reiki, if people don't know what that is, because you never know who's watching.
Absolutely. So, yeah, been pretty busy.
Yeah.
So for those who are only just catching up, I did do a business rebrand this year, so that was pretty big.
Yeah.
So I went from sort of selling witchy wares and doing spellcrafty stuff, and I've just done a 180.
Oopsies.
Did a bit of a swapsies. So now I'm offering holistic and wellbeing services. So the spellcrafty manifestation sessions are still in there, but it's not the main driver of what I do anymore. So I think of all the things I've done this year. So, for one, I joined you on the journey of the holistic counselling. So
that was fun.
It was good. Good course.
It was good to do it together too. It was so much better having someone to be like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Help me.
What does it mean?
Yeah. And then when we had to do our practice at the end, we got to have a full day of just hanging out, practicing, running through all the different practices and really implementing them and practicing properly, which was really cool.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So we actually finished not long after each other, and it was a pretty good experience. So I offer that as well, mainly out of my Broadford branch, but it is a thing that I do.
Yeah.
So you know a lot about the holistic counselling already, being one yourself.
Yeah.
And that's really just the journey of supporting one on their path to wellness, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, in a holistic way.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a broad term because, well, we're all so different. So really how that interaction works is, not a one size fits all.
Yeah, which is what I love, is because I feel like sometimes you get so caught up in the one size fits all kind of mentality that it's like people are complex. We are all so damn complex. So add a bit of this trauma, add a bit of this strategy, add a bit of this lifestyle, and then it's like, well, that doesn't work. Shit.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think a lot of counselling settings are very cookie cutter type things, and that can be a bit problematic because in my own experience, I think you've had a similar experience as well. We've gone and seen counsellors and we're like, this is okay, but it's not great.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just talking about the things I've been through. I haven't actually got anything to go forward with.
It's like $300. I could buy a diary and a pen and call it a day. Like, that's what it felt like at the end of it, which is not what the aim is. It's never what the aim has been, but the system is so flawed that it's taken a lot to get away from it.
Yeah.
And we're only just learning now that there is another way, there is another avenue. So it's been really encouraging to learn that course and go, we can actually just support people where they're at, and the beautiful colours and shapes and sizes that their personality comes in, and their trauma and their lifestyle and all of the things. So yeah, it's definitely changed in the most recent years. There's a lot more of this sort of stuff being offered now. And
people are more accepting of it too. Like back in the day, people were a bit like, oh, holistic counselling, that's
sounds a little bit hippie, doesn't it?
And it's like, well, that's okay. Like if the talk-based therapy works, which it does work for some people, and there is an element of it within your counselling, of course, then go for what feels good, right? And for me personally, I just found that the holistic counselling, the empowerment coaching, the life coaching, the self-development was better for me. Like I, doing years and years of counselling, just like you said, just.
Well, this is it, isn't it?
I just went around in a circle.
And I do like holistic counselling because it doesn't discount that. Like you said, if someone really just wants a listening ear, that's so fine as well. But it doesn't discount everyone else who has struggled with that.
Yeah, it can be quite intimidating. Here, Katie, tell me everything you've ever been through. Like, I don't even know you. Like,
Yeah.
You get sick of repeating the story. Sometimes it's not even necessary. Like, I've really found in a lot of what I do that it's like you get a little bits. Obviously, you got to get bits and pieces of what people have been through. But as a whole, you don't need to go right down into the story because that's not relevant.
Yeah.
You know your story.
Well, that's it. And I've found, again, in my experience, but also for a lot of people that I've noticed more recently, the talking is only one part of the trauma processing. So it brings it up, and then it's like, great, I'm activated. Now what do we do with it?
Yeah. How do I get it out of my body?
Yeah, and there are some effective tools out there, but I just find what we do is much more intensive. There's so many different avenues you can go down, as we said. So what works for one person may not work for another. So you just play around with your bag of tools. You obviously get to know the person on their level, and find out what would be a better fit for them, rather than being like, all right, that was 45 minutes of talking, see you later. Yeah. Off you go.
Yeah.
So
It empowers them to really access their own innate healing, because that's what it is at the end of the day. I found that with the talk-based stuff, sometimes you can kind of become a little bit reliant, and you're waiting for the next time you catch up for them to give you the answers and to feel good again. Whereas you don't feel empowered within yourself to handle the things that come at you. So yeah, it's cool stuff. It's really good toolbox. Good tool to have in your toolbox is the holistic counselling, because it just touched on so many things.
Absolutely. So I guess for me, a big part of why I adopted the holistic counselling as well was because I became a Reiki practitioner first. And what I found is Reiki is such a beautiful healing modality, which I'll unpack a bit more in a moment, but I found that people were coming to me with trauma, and I'm like, what do I do with it? Yeah, I'm like, all right, so I like the energy healing is only one element, and I'll always stand by it's not a fix-all option. It is a part of the puzzle. So I really loved being attuned to Reiki, and it does some incredible things, but I had some people coming in with some really real, really intense trauma, and I'm like, it's just as beautiful as it is, it's not enough. I need to be able to support a person fully, in every facet of their being. So that's what drew me to the holistic counselling. But it sort of started as a little mishmash. Yeah. It's a bit of a snowball effect from the Reiki. Yeah. So having learnt Reiki and it becoming a passion of mine, I'm like, I really want to support people in an all-encompassing way, rather than just being, again, have your healing, that was great, off you go, see you later. And they're like, you've just ripped the rug from underneath me. Now what? So I think, I would love to see anyone who does any sort of reading, Reiki, massage, any of it, to have some sort of foundation. It doesn't have to be holistic counselling necessarily, but some sort of client-focused care. Yeah. Whatever way or whatever teaching is relevant to that person, but we should all have some sort of safety net to work with.
I agree. And everyone has trauma, and that's why it's so important to know that, if you're going to unpack someone's stuff, you want to know how to then have them benefit from that, not actually be just left with a wound wide open, ready to bleed everywhere, and have no idea how to clean it up and how to handle, stitching themselves up or whatever. So I think it's really cool that I'm noticing a lot of our practitioners are doing that. They're going, I offer this and this is my thing, but I just want to add more to my toolbox, because as you see the person as a whole, as you're unpacking kind of a little bit, you're touching on some wounds, right? What do you do with that? So that's what I love about like Zen Daily, and how, the practitioners in this space are just really client-centered, client-focused, and really able to provide something very different. It's not just a reading, it's not just a Reiki, it's not just, it's so much more. Like the toolbox that they have, they're doing the work, they're learning, they're upping their skills, they're doing different trainings, like how can I provide more? And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this a lot because we have such amazing practitioners on board, but one of my biggest gripes, especially with Reiki, which again we'll unpack more, is it is an unmoderated field of work. And I'm very passionate about this because I do want the best interest for everyone. But you can literally get on Google and get a certificate easy peasy in a couple of hours.
And people have a safety around the certificate, don't they?
Yeah. But I'm learning with time that a certificate does not mean a single thing. It's really where you source your teaching from and the work that you put in from that teaching that's really important. So as part of being a Reiki practitioner, I found simultaneously, good and bad, it's a little bit too easy to get a Reiki certificate.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, it's good because I encourage everyone to learn how to heal themselves naturally.
Yeah.
I think we should all have access to that, and we do. We should be able to get that knowledge quite easily, but on the other hand...
And you're working with others.
yeah, and the people that aren't doing the work to show up for themselves, let alone anyone else, it can be a dangerous combination. So I'm very passionate about that. And I think we should all strive to learn more. It doesn't matter what you do. You could, even if you're catering in a kitchen or making cupcakes or something, you do the best you can at what you do. And that's where the love of your passion lies, is actually continuing.
You don't just get a certificate and go, oh, I'm qualified, and then just practice. Like, if that's what you do, that's fine, because you can get a lot from experience and whatnot. But I think it's cool that the upskilling that you can do and the different levels you can do, and like you've even gone even further, haven't you, with energy work? Yeah.
So I'm in an energy school at the moment, which talks about different forms of energy healing. So a lot of people think energy healing and Reiki are the same thing, which to one extent that is true. But energy healing is an umbrella term for working with the energy bodies. So Reiki is just one form of that. So when you can use Reiki and energy healing interchangeably, but you've got to be careful with that, because energy healing can be violet flame. It can be Shakti, Alcemia, Golden Dragon, Sechim, Reiki. There's so many different types. So it is a bit of an umbrella term. So I'm studying some more modalities in that area, because energy healing as a whole is where my passion lies.
That's so cool.
And Reiki was just the first puzzle piece to that. So using my own advice there, I'm just continuing. As much information and as much learnings as I can get to broaden my toolbox, I'm going to go for it.
That's amazing. And so what was it about Reiki that drew you in? Like, what was it specifically about Reiki that made you go Reiki over, anything else, really?
Well, funnily enough, that was just left foot, right foot, my body followed. I actually have no idea. So I signed up to Reiki 1, and as we know, there's no accidents. We have a belief system that the universe shows us where we need to be.
Yeah, definitely.
But I literally signed up going, I feel like I need to do this. I don't know why. And it's not a cheap course if you do it properly. So I'm like, I've put an investment down and I'm sat at the table. I'm like, I hope this is good. It's like, I put a lot of investment into this. And sure enough, within 10 minutes of sitting down, I'm like, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm like, I know why I sat down now. I know why I invested in this course.
Cool. I love it when that happens, when your soul aligns. And this is the thing. People are like, I don't know how to find what to do. I don't know how to find my passion. It's like, try something.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
No, that was literally it. I knew that I've always known I wanted to help people, so that was one part of it. And given my recent couple of years of really working with myself and discovering who I am underneath all of my layers, I'm like, all right, I really want to do something special. I want to do something that makes people feel good. And I want to do something, I always got to add my own little quirk to everything. I'm like, I want to do something that's just a little bit different. And I'm pleased to know that, Reiki's really been picking up the last couple of years. So there were a lot of options available to me at the time that I decided to do it. And I really, again, because of the whole line of thinking that we've been talking about, I'm like, I really want a good teacher. So there were lots of courses online, lots of different options, and it just so happened that I had seen a flyer in one of the local shops for a teacher who does Reiki in the area, and it was someone I met previously, so I already knew that this lady was really lovely, and I'm like, alright, I think I found the one, found the teacher, and sure enough, it was a really good fit. And I speak so highly of my teacher Martina. She's just so beautiful. And then when I furthered my studies, I came across another beautiful teacher, also called Sarah.
That's amazing.
So I've just been really blessed to have some really incredible teachers on my journey.
Yeah.
And it's in a classroom setting, so as much as online courses can be helpful, it's that real hands-on approach.
Yeah, online can be hard. I
Yeah.
like being in person, in the energy.
Especially with energy
questions.
healing.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
How do you explain energy healing to someone over a camera, which we can do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But to actually have someone coach you through it and help you feel it and help you understand it is only something you can get in person.
Yeah, I really agree with that.
Yeah, so I always say that, you know, you've got to find the right person for you. So even on camera telling you all about my passion, I may not be the fit for you, and that's so okay.
Yeah.
So I always encourage you to explore. Look around for a teacher that suits your vibe.
Yeah.
Have a chat to them to see what their teaching style's like. That's so important. But if you do anything, please see someone in person. It's so much better.
Yeah. And plus, if you're going to work with people, like maybe if you're going to do it just for yourself and you just want to do an online thing, maybe you're a bit of an introvert, fine. But if you are actually wanting to do this as a practice, I think it's so important that you're going to be interacting with complete strangers.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to come into a place where you're going to be with completely strangers and know what that's like really know what that's like in a physical sense.
Yeah. And I do find with a lot of online courses, even the, you know, quote unquote hippy dippy ones, the courses are very automated. Like it's like you do this and you do that and you should cater for this and you should consider that. But you don't hear anyone's personal story. Like
I always learn a lot from the personal stories.
Yeah, well that's it. You want to hear your classmates, like what brought them there, what their passion is, and even the teacher, like how did they get to be where they are.
Yeah, different experiences they've had. I had a client once and this happened and real life actual things that have happened, experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's very, I mean that would be my biggest bit of advice, is to find something or someone that you are really compatible with for your teachings. So
that's so cool. I absolutely love how much you've grown in this space with the Reiki, with the holistic counselling and all the different tools that you're adding to your tool belt just to be able to be of service to people. I think it's just incredible, you know, because you grow yourself. Like every time you do a course, it's more insight for you as well, because obviously you've got to do the work before you offer the work. So you do the thing and then you're like, I've learned so much about myself. Cool. Now I want to share. You know, like it's just, it's amazing. Yeah.
And they do say with energy healing as well, like if you're working on a client, you too, you inherit healing because you're opening yourself up to that channel, that stream of energy. So you get healed at the same time. So cool. Work perks, hey?
Yeah, right. Work perks, I like that.
So you go on a journey of self-discovery, healing, your strength and like your connection to self is strengthened. It's like so much happens. You can't do energy healing without receiving the healing yourself.
Yeah.
So
it's the same with sound healing. It's the same when you're in a therapy session and you're like, that's really insightful stuff I just said. I should use that and write that down. Because you just get channeled through you and you're like, that was really interesting. I feel like I need to add that to my life,
Yeah, 100%.
Or, I've forgotten about that. Actually, it's a really good reminder, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's really awesome stuff.
It is. So, tell us the big news.
Alright. So, effective as of this week, I have now got myself to a point where I'm ready to teach Reiki. So,
yes, happy dance!
Reiki teacher.
Heck yeah!
So I've officially finished everything I feel I need to do to teach Reiki level 1.
Yeah, it looks beautiful too. I got a little sneak peek the same.
Yeah, the VIP.
Yeah.
Get to look into it a bit earlier.
A little sneak peek.
Yeah, so I put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, so much love.
I've really created something that's my own. So with Reiki, you do have your standard CAE Usui lineage. So that's the person that has brought Reiki to us as we know it now.
Yeah.
He's, I believe, if I remember correctly, from 1920s is about when he started doing his thing.
Yeah.
So to be considered a Usui teacher, you have to have a direct lineage to him, which I do have from both teachers.
Okay.
So he inherited his teachings on his journey. And he's passed it down from student to student to student to student all the way down to me, and now I get the privilege of passing it down to you. So
That's so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So what does that look like?
So my teachings are a little bit of a hybrid. So you get the Usui teachings, which is also known as the traditional teachings, which is the methods and skills and knowledge that Usui has passed down to his students. And then you get a little bit of my learnings that I've got along the way, because of course everyone's got their own little bits and pieces to add. Reiki, from its very origins to now, has gone through so many facelifts and transformations and little bits and pieces changing, that yes, there is still some tradition left behind, but it has turned into its own thing over all of this time, which I think is beautiful, because everyone's taken it and gone, but this could be added, and nothing's been taken away, everything's just been added. There's so many beautiful layers to it. So the manual that I created has the traditional teachings. It also has elements from both of my teachers, and then it has my own spin on it as well. So you get a real collective knowledge thing happening there.
Yeah, you can really see the love that you put into it, the illustrations, the words, like it's just really, really thought out, and really takes the person on a self-discovery journey while learning all this stuff. It's awesome stuff. Yeah,
and I've got a really big belief that it's one of those things that's a little bit hit and miss depending on what teacher you get. But I really hit that you need to put yourself first on this journey. That was a big part of my manual, because again, I don't know how you'd expect yourself to work with other people without having experienced it yourself. So there's a lot of invitations in there for self-care, self-reflection, the self-healings, which I expect you to do every day for a certain amount of time. And it's really so that you can fully embrace the teachings and really make it your own, but also see how you respond to it.
So cool. Because you've got to be able to experience it before you actually, and that's why in the end, because I wanted to be a coach, I had to hire one, because I'm like, well, I want to be a coach, I need to hire one to know what it's like to be a customer. Basically, or a participant in it too, because that's where you learn a lot.
Well, that's it. When you're doing a modality or a service, so many people do only see the one side, don't they?
In anything, they always say you have to be a customer first in whatever you do.
Absolutely. So as part of my self-care, I regularly receive Reiki from other practitioners. So I'm blessed to have two teachers within reach that I can go and see them. But even people in the area, if they're just starting out, if they've just got their Reiki 1 and they want to practice on someone, I'm the first to put my hand up. Like, do it. Like, practice on me. Right. Because one, it's part of my self-care. And you can do Reiki on yourself. You can do treatments every day, but there's something really nice about receiving it from someone else. It's like getting a head rub. So you can do a head rub on yourself, and it's all right. The arms get a bit sore, don't they? Sometimes it's really nice to be nurtured and nourished and just have someone else do it for you.
Definitely.
So I make a point of seeing a practitioner fairly regularly, and just getting that self-care. And it's really good to connect to the energy. There is a different feeling from doing it to yourself and receiving it. So it's really nice to just lie on the table and be like nurtured. And so nice.
So cool. I love that. And it's so relaxing. And the thing that I love about your Reiki is it's not, I don't know, I haven't had Reiki from anyone else, so I guess I have nothing to compare it to, but I don't imagine that all the Reiki practitioners, line you up with crystals and have singing bowls and have like the intuition that you have as well, because you're also a reader. And also with the holistic counselling side, so the aftercare that you have, like it's just packaged up so freaking beautifully with everything thought out, like everything you do, that it's just an experience like no other, and I know that you've had clients come in that have had some pretty horrible experiences, and I could see your little heart break when you're like, what have you done? Like, why are you doing this to the Reiki name, I guess, and it's just one of those things where with anything that you do, anything, whether it's reading, whether it's Reiki, whether it's counselling, make sure you resonate with the person and make sure that you do a bit of research to make sure that they're not just getting a certificate out of a bloody cereal box. Yeah,
absolutely. And this is what I was saying before about I have I'm very conflicted about how I feel about how easy it is to receive a certificate, because you can get any range of experiences, and in fact one of my first students, she won't mind me saying this, but it's that she had a really poor experience where she basically just had the book given to her. She had the attunement done, and that was it.
Yeah,
that was her
wow.
experience, and she paid a lot of money to have that. And I just think it's heartbreaking because I'm so passionate about this. And I see Reiki as like one of my babies. I'm like, oh, why would you do that? Like,
Right?
it's meant to be such a beautiful,
Yeah,
it's meant to be this really beautiful modality. And of course it is, but some people don't have the best intent. So it's really important that you do make sure you resonate. And look, that person could have been well intended.
yeah.
That person might have made their program for people that don't have time and they just need to get it over and done with if that's their experience. But
see if it resonates with you first.
see if it resonates with you, because like my way of thinking is, you know, I would rather take the full couple of days with you, make sure you fully understand. The way my program operates is you get aftercare support. So if you get 2 weeks after the program and you go, oh, I forgot that chapter, would you mind going over it with me again? Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you go, oh, I did a couple of healings and I just don't know how I feel about it, well, message me. We'll sit down, we'll unpack it. Is there a self-limiting belief there?
Yeah.
Is there something that you're not quite fully understanding? Are you doing all of the steps that resonate with you? Because again, everyone's practice is different.
Yeah.
So
True.
are you doing, with your Reiki practice, do you resonate with all the steps? Are you forgetting a step that you would consider important? Let's talk about it. So that's where my course is different, not necessarily from everyone, but it is different to a lot of them, because you don't just get the 2 days, you get ongoing aftercare support.
That's so freaking cool.
Yeah,
I love that. I think it's so important to have that aftercare, because, and that's something that I try to offer, is the aftercare, because, you know, it's all good, you get hyped up in the moment, it's cool, it's fun, it's whatever, and then you kind of just get a bit complacent, you go back into your life, and then you forget to do your practice, or you forget what you even worked on, and you forget what you're kind of doing. So to have that kind of like, you know, reach out if you need, and then you can be like, oh, I've actually really slacked this week, I'm really sorry, how can I work through this, what's happened? And you can unpack it with them, like, and make sure that it's something that actually really resonates with them.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a part of being a human being, isn't it? We do tend to forget.
We get complacent.
Yeah, well, I know I did recently. I've had the worst insomnia patch, and I've tried every single thing. I'm like, duh, I'm a Reiki master. Why don't I just Reiki myself to sleep? So you do forget about it.
Yeah.
And I think it's good to have that support to be able to connect. So as part of my program, I will be offering a group setting. Of course, it's no pressure to join, but once you have your certification, you get added to this group, and you can sort of check in, ask questions. I'll post content there to keep you refreshed every now and then.
Cool.
Yeah, and just little bits and pieces.
So they can ask a question rather than, you know, they can put it out in the group and you may not be available to answer straight away, and somebody else in the group might go, oh, it's this, you know.
Yeah, exactly right.
Great way to support each other, you know, as a group.
Yeah, and hold each other accountable. Because again, we all are on our own journeys.
Yeah.
So that'll be an option, and then the people that know me will have my contact details. Like I said, I'm there to support people on their journey. So
oh, so cool. So when are you thinking of offering it? How does it look if somebody does want to sign up to learn Reiki?
Yeah, so if you're interested in learning Reiki, of course, reach out. We do a discovery call, so it's a free, obligation-free call. I know that sounds really catchphrasy, but there's a purpose behind it, because as I've been banging this drum for the last 20 minutes, really important to see if we resonate.
Yeah.
So we have that initial phone call, and just see if we're going to be a good fit, because I'd hate for you to invest in something and go, oh, that's really not, you know,
I don't actually like you that much.
Yeah, I'd rather go somewhere. I'd rather have that obligation-free call first and have that conversation up front. And then, you know, say you want to go ahead with it, I send out a welcome pack. So the welcome pack gives you a little bit of information to get you started from now until when we meet. And I've got a few little bits of homework already. It starts very early.
Awesome.
And the homework is all around self-care. So to be open to receiving these beautiful life force energies, I would love to see you raise your vibration as much as you can, to help facilitate that process. So what better way to do that than to love yourself in whatever way feels good. There's a lot of suggestions in the welcome pack, but whatever way feels good, whether it's, you know, making sure you eat clean foods, lots of water, getting lots of rest, maybe some exercise, some sunshine, having a little journal, whatever it is. So there's some suggestions there. And then you wait your prescribed time. So our first intake, have we decided on a date?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was the 11th and 12th, wasn't it?
Yeah, 11th and 12th of January.
Yep.
So you get your welcome pack. You have to wait over Christmas.
Yeah, well, we figured it's probably
have a little
better
bit of time to let it all settle. Yeah. And
plus,
then,
it's one of those things that if someone's wanting to invest, they could save up. They've got a couple of months to really
well, that's it.
put
Yeah.
things, start really invest. Payment plan or something to get it happening.
Absolutely right. Yeah. So the investment for this course is $440 per person. So the investment covers you for 2 days, 2 full days. Lunch is provided.
Ooh, nice.
You get a welcome pack. You get a activity journal. It's a really intimate and connective experience as well. So I really encourage the participants to get together, practice on each other. There'll be plenty of time for that. It's just a really beautiful couple of days of connection.
Yeah,
so
and this space is so nice to do that stuff. I had an event on Sunday, and just, I don't know, something about just this room and how warm it is, as in
cozy.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, I just love it. I love running. I've only done the one, but I'm like, I want to do more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's a really good investment because you get a good couple of days, and like I said, you also get that ongoing support as well.
Yeah,
So it's well worth it. So yeah, that's basically all of the time frames and costs associated with it. And how the days work is, it's a very relaxed experience. We're going for pretty small groups, so no more than 8 of us. We want to keep it nice and small and intimate, so you've got plenty of time to ask questions, to share your experience. If you need any help with anything, there'll be plenty of time for that, so it's not rushed in any way.
Yeah.
There is a lot of content to go over, but again, it's not mind-boggling, guys. It's really, when you're in the course, you realise it's really easy, beautiful concepts, and it's not far removed from our nature, so it's not like you have to really think outside the box to make these concepts work.
Okay.
And for those that are already in a spiritual practice, there's a good chance that you'll know a lot of it anyway. It's just putting the pieces together to form the Reiki puzzle. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, so it's a really, really beautiful, relaxed couple of days, and it's
it sounds so good.
I'm so excited to start teaching it.
Can't wait. It's going to be epic, guys. So if you are really interested, how can they find you?
So I am on social media, Instagram, Facebook. So CAE Wellbeing Hub is my business name. You can also look at my website. The course isn't uploaded there yet, so just bear with me, but it's www.caewellbeinghub.com.au.
Nice.
You can see the girls in store and have a chat to them. They already know enough about Reiki to give you the brief, so if you want to let them know that you're interested, you can do it that way. So you've got plenty of options to get in touch, and plenty of time as well. So
why would someone come and do Reiki? What benefits could they get from signing up?
So I guess to backtrack a little bit, which we probably should have done this at the start of the video, but so what Reiki actually is the life force energy that exists within everything.
If you're a Star Wars fan, you get this.
So the basic concept.
One
with the force. So the concept is that all the matter in the universe exists, and it can neither be created or destroyed, right? So with every living and non-living thing in existence, there is the ability to receive and give this life force energy. It is the thing that gives us sentience. It gives us being. It's the thing that keeps the cogs turning, so to speak. So it's the essence of everything.
Wow.
So as I've touched on, we actually have the ability within us naturally to flow this energy. So intention, just on its own, is a very basic form of Reiki when you think about it.
Yeah.
Just to put an example of how we naturally put Reiki into practice. If you're walking along at night, you stub your toe, it freaking hurts. You grab your toe and you go, oh my goodness, that hurts. But you're grabbing your foot and you feel instantly a little bit better. Have you noticed that?
True.
Or you've got a sore tummy and you put your hands there and you're like, feeling a little bit better. So we're actually naturally starting to channel that energy already because we're all born with that ability. And in fact, you know, in ancient times, we were much more connected to this natural gift. You know, we didn't have to be attuned to it. We were it. So as time has progressed and we've sort of lost touch with our way, we do need a little bit of a nudge to get that life force energy more prevalent within our body, within our understanding. So that's why attunements happen. So that's what Reiki is. And with Reiki, you deepen your understanding of that natural healing ability. So like I said, we already have it, but the attunement process and the learning process just helps strengthen that connection. So when you strengthen that connection, you start to realize that the only limit to Reiki is your imagination. So you can heal anything. Anything. You can Reiki your water, you can Reiki your plants, your animals, your house, your car, yourself, obviously. And all you're doing is you're pairing intention, which we know is the catalyst for manifestation, and you're channeling that energy flow. So with intention and energy flow comes healing. So that's basically the essence of how it works. So when you ask what the benefits are numerous. So the only thing I will speak on is there is a lot of science behind Reiki, and I absolutely will, go down that tunnel of chat with you as much as you want. I'm very passionate about it. But we do have to add the disclaimer, we're definitely not being medical professionals in any sense. We're not being psychologists in any sense. So I do add a big disclaimer as whilst it's very powerful, very magical, and I do believe it has a very deep, profound healing sense about it. We also have to be realistic. So if you've got into a car accident, call an ambulance. Don't Reiki yourself.
Or don't try and call someone to perform Reiki.
If you have the means to Reiki yourself whilst you're waiting for an ambulance, sure, but still call the ambulance. Use common sense. But in your day-to-day applications to enhance the quality of your life and everything around you, go nuts. Reiki everything.
So my plants could really benefit from some Reiki love, I feel.
So when I say there's a lot of scientific research behind it, what we do know is that Reiki has the ability to work on the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the state in our brain that's responsible for rest and digest. So we enter a state of rest and digest when we're doing meditation, when we are literally resting, when we're sitting outside in the sun, like all of those really feel-good things. So Reiki activates that. And how I say that it works is it's like our brains are like these supercomputers with too many tabs open, right? It's a lot sometimes. I'm sure a lot of people can empathise with that. So Reiki activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and it closes down a few of those tabs. And there have been documented results of healing by the byproduct of closing down those tabs. So when you think about like your body's overwhelmed, you're stressed, you might have left your hair straightener on, your partner didn't put the dishes away, you've got 32 projects due yesterday at work, and you're like, holy shit. And then, you come down with a cold or a flu and you've manifested a little bit of illness because too much is going on. Sometimes you can't actually control the 32 deadlines at work and the hair straight, hopefully you can go home and turn the hair straighter off, but some things are really just out of your control. So taking a moment out to receive Reiki or give Reiki to yourself just closes down a few of those stresses in your mind. It helps alleviate the thought processes that are going on, and it does allow your body to heal. So immune boosting effects, quicker healing, reduction in mental health symptoms have all been documented and proven. So that we can.
Makes sense. Like if you look at just stress on its own, right? Like we know how deadly stress is, and that stress is one of the biggest killers out there, and we underestimate it. So just the fact that it's able to just bring you back into balance and to just, it's almost like, when you talk about, shutting down the tabs, you may not be able to say delete them and not have to worry about it. It's still a thing.
You're just minimising them for a bit.
It's almost like you're accepting that they're going to have to be done, but you know, you're not stressing about it. It's like, well, it's got to be done. There's nothing I can do about it, so I might as well not stress about it. You know, like you're just alleviating that stress element.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is another thing where I would say my Reiki is different from a lot of other practitioners out there is you can pick the experience you have with me. So some people, you'd be surprised at the amount of people that come in and go, I don't want all of the extras, and by extras I mean psychic downloads I get. I don't want any of the extras, I just want to come on the table and relax for 35 minutes, 45 minutes. I don't need to hear what you saw or what you did, I just want the tabs closed down.
Yeah.
So I offer that. And as I touched on, I am also a psychic intuitive. I've got a pretty extensive background in that side of things.
Definitely.
So sometimes you do end up getting a bit of a reading as well.
Even mediumship has come through for you.
Yeah. I've been
You never know.
with, yeah.
If it's meant to be, you just trust the process.
Exactly right. So you can pick your experience, but one thing that is in common with all experiences is I will send you home with homework. Because I am the loving Reiki.
You don't like homework, you won't like CAE.
Yeah, it's all good homework, I promise. It's because I'm the loving Reiki mum that wants to see you succeed, and I want to see that wellness effect last for longer than the 35 minutes on the table.
Awesome.
So I will give you tools, and that's the holistic counselling coming into it. I will give you tools to take home and consider. You never have to do it. They're always an invitation.
Yeah.
But I would like you to consider them, and they will help with the process of closing a few more tabs down and allowing the effect to last longer.
Yeah.
So that's something I add to my sessions, which not necessarily everyone does. So when you see a Reiki practitioner, you literally, your service might be you go in, you calm down, you get out. I'm really passionate about making sure that the session has done something for you and continues to do something for you.
Yeah, you might as well get the most out of it, right? Like if you're feeling good, let's feel good for longer.
Exactly right. I want it to last as long as possible for you. So until such a time you're ready to come and learn it for yourself, if you're just receiving a session, I'm going to make sure you get the best out of it as possible.
Yeah, you definitely are, really onto that, and it's awesome. So with the Reiki levels, I know you said Reiki level 1. How many levels are there?
So there's 3 levels of study.
Okay, what do they mean?
So Reiki level 1, Shodan, is the new teachings. It's the first understandings of Reiki. So this is the course I've just completed and that I'm ready to start sharing with the world. It's essentially understanding what Reiki is. So we've had a talk about that already, but we go into a bit more depth.
Yeah.
We talk about the history of Reiki and Mikao Usui and how it came to be. We talk about the extensive benefits. Again, we go into more details. We talk about the chakra system and how Reiki interacts with that. We talk about, again, all of the various applications of it. And we talk about some really important factors you need to know, whether you're treating Reiki as a personal thing or if you're helping other people. And that's the foundations of protection, grounding your energy, looking after yourself, all of those self-care practices. And we talk about how Reiki interacts with other gifts that you may have. So as I mentioned, me being a psychic intuitive, not every Reiki practitioner is a psychic intuitive. Some are empaths. And that's a really, really valuable tool in the Reiki practice. So if you're an empath and you want to learn Reiki, you get given tools on how to incorporate the two whilst looking after yourself. Some people, they may, I'm trying to think of the word. So you've got your psychics, you've got your empaths, you might get mediums, so you might get loved ones come through in a Reiki session. So it's about how to pair your unique abilities with the Reiki itself. And everyone's got abilities, but if you don't feel you have abilities, we sort of help you understand them a little bit more and how you may find them in yourself. So we talk about all of the different types of psychic abilities. We've all got something, so it sort of starts to scratch beneath the surface and find a little bit of extra magic that you might not have realised. So we talk about all of that, and then you obviously receive your attunement. So an attunement, as I touched on before, is just shifting your energy that you already have to focus in on the natural healing ability within. So it's just strengthened. So I take you through that process, and that's pretty much Reiki 1. There's a few more little extras in there. Now, Reiki 1's fine for anyone who just wants to enhance their natural healing ability, for plants, pets, themselves, whatever. You need to have Reiki 2 if you intend to receive an income from your Reiki.
Cool.
So Reiki 1's fine for practice, but you need Reiki 2 to receive an income or to start a business.
Yeah.
So with Reiki 2, we go into further understandings, further applications of Reiki. We talk about the many numerous symbols that you can use in Reiki. So you only really get one symbol at Reiki 1, you get the rest on Reiki 2, so you get a whole toolbox of different ways you can use it.
Okay.
You learn about distance Reiki, which is a really cool one.
That sounds amazing.
So with Reiki, you think it's just me and you, but because Reiki is an energy form, it exists within every timeline. So you can send Reiki to, someone across the other side of the world.
Wow.
You can send
Your mum
Reiki
in
to
hospital or something.
Yeah, exactly. You can send Reiki to different timelines. So you can send Reiki to yourself in the past if you're doing, past life stuff or past version stuff where, maybe teenage Sarah, you really feel for a part of her, so you send her some Reiki.
Wow.
And it actually heals something within the present moment. Oof. So really powerful stuff.
That's incredible.
So you get your symbols, you get your distance healing, your distance Reiki, and then you also learn how to set up Reiki as a business. So we go through a business model. Because it's a bit of a niche market, I sort of teach you sort of what I did. So you sort of learn how to set it up, what uses you can have for Reiki in a business. You can have Reiki and not be a practitioner. You might sell Reiki infused candles.
Oh.
You might Reiki your shop every day. You might be a hairdresser, so you might Reiki your shop every day so your clients feel amazing and you're the best you're the best hairdresser in town.
Yeah.
Because you've got this extra something that no one knows about.
Yeah.
So
speaking.
Yeah, so or you might give you might be a hairdresser and you might give Reiki head rubs after you've done a haircut or something.
I'm going to the hairdresser and suggesting they do this.
Right, like how good is that little bonus?
Right.
So,
or you go to like a florist or something and all their plants are just like boom,
and you're like, how did you do that? What's your secret?
Yeah, and it's like, wow, sneaky.
We've got a hidden secret. Yeah. So Reiki 2's for all of that.
Very nice.
So I would say that's the, and a lot of people do Reiki 2 and 3 just because they want to strengthen their connection further, because you do get an attunement with those two as well. So you could get Reiki 2 and 3 and not necessarily do those things, but you may want to do it for that really enhanced connection.
Yeah.
Or just that deeper understanding. So that's Reiki 2. And then Reiki 3, you must have if you plan to teach it. So like I am now. So you learn about that. You learn how to attune someone else, because there is actually quite an intensive process to that.
I was thinking of that too.
Yeah, so that's a, it's not a bippity boppity boot with a wand and there you go. There's a bit of a
off you go, thank you very much.
Absolutely, so there's a bit of a process to that. You get one final Reiki symbol that wasn't mentioned in the previous two, and that's a very special one for the end. And then on top of that, we go through a meditation together where you might find your own Reiki symbol that's unique to you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it overrides all of the other ones because it's your own power symbol. So that's a really cool one as well.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, so you need Reiki 3 to be essentially a Reiki master and to do all of the below. But yeah, that one's a really good course as well. And again, you might go all the way up to 3 just because it's really cool. You don't actually have to
being a nurse. You're a nurse, you're not actually practicing Reiki, but because you have that, you're kind of like, could you imagine that in the hospitals?
Well, it's actually interesting you say that because hospitals are really starting to get on board with Reiki.
Good.
So, you might have heard if someone's in hospice, you're allowed to bring a priest in or a doula in to help with the process of birthing or crossing over. Reiki practitioners are now in high demand for that reason, because it's the process of birth or death or even illness is a very sacred journey for someone to go on, and sometimes they really want that nourishing touch of that beautiful life force energy. So it's funny you say that.
Oh my god.
So a lot of nurses are getting attuned because it's that simple handhold, but with that extra Reiki touch that might mean the world to someone.
God, that's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like life changing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's completely changed my life. So
Yeah.
I'm so passionate about it that I did the whole thing, and now I want to teach it. So
I need to share it with the world. We all need to be trained in it because it does seem like it is starting to ramp up Reiki. Like, a lot of people who come into the shop are like, oh yeah, I've got Reiki. Oh yeah, I've done Reiki. So I think it's really cool that it's getting out there. Like, it's starting to become not so woo-woo, and it's quite accepted now.
yeah, well, there's a lot of research on it. So I've got a lot of resources if anyone is interested in going, I want to know the science, because I'm very much one of those people.
You're a science guy too.
As much as I am a bit of a woo-woo lady, I need to understand the workings of something, even if the idea is that it never fully makes sense to anyone.
Yeah,
I want some sort of tangible, like, theory.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of documented and confirmed science behind Reiki. Like I was saying, most of it's to do with slowing down the parasympathetic nervous system and just allowing the body to relax. But we know how powerful relaxing the body is. So if that's all it does, then that's enough for me to vouch for it. But there is so much more to it.
So freaking cool. Oh my god, guys, you need to sign up for this. And it's funny because you've already started getting bookings and you haven't even launched it till basically today.
You guys are the first to find out, literally. So I had one person that's been sort of like,
hurry up.
Yeah, a regular client's been like, can you let me know when it's done? So I've messaged her, and then I've had a referral come through, but I haven't actually told anyone specifically. So you guys are the first to find out. Woo! So it means that you guys get the head start on booking in with this.
Yeah, because I think it's going to book out really quick, because I know we've had people come in going, is anyone teaching Reiki? And it's like, well, it's coming. So if that was you, jump on it, because it's January. I know it seems a little while away, but it'll come quick. And it'll book out. I know it will book out.
And there's very limited spaces because, like I said, I'm really about quality over quantity.
Yeah.
So once the spaces are sold out, that's it. We're not squeezing other people in. As much as I love to make space for everyone, you'll just have to come to another one. Yeah, there's definitely no extra chairs. There's 8 seats. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's very important that if you do want this, to get on it quickly. Like I said, if finances are a factor, because I know we're getting to that time of the year, we can organise a payment plan so that you can secure that seat. But definitely jump on it, because this will sell out quick, guys.
Yeah, 100%. I'm so freaking excited. I've just been itching, like, oh, this is going to be it. This is it.
Yeah.
Because,
you're on board, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm so keen to learn, because like, to the idea of being able to heal myself and to have that practice within what I do, right? Same thing for you, right? You got holistic counselling to add to your Reiki, but I want the Reiki to add to my holistic counselling. So it's like, here's our main thing, and then we're going to swap tools so that we can, like, enhance our thing. And I think that's so freaking cool to be able to have that, because, someone, that might be what they need, is, that sort of Reiki energy, or just to know that you do that might be that, that, I want to work with you because, you've got at least that extra tool. So, freaking cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm so keen.
Yeah. And like I said, it is literally for everyone. So even if you only did it just to strengthen your connection to yourself, that's fine. You don't have to work with other people.
No.
You don't have to Reiki everything every day, even though I said it was a really cool idea. You can literally just use it to add an intention to your day with a little extra impact. So it doesn't have to be intensive, it doesn't have to be profound, it can just be this little beautiful thing that you've got going on. Everyone can do it.
Right? And then to be able to do it for your family, your pets, like, I don't know, who wouldn't want to do it?
Absolutely. And you know how everyone, like, if someone's going through something, you go, oh, I'm sending you love. You can literally do that, like, with Reiki too. Reiki 1, you can still send love, but Reiki 2 is where you can actually send distant Reiki in the form of a little love bubble. So.
Oh, that's so freaking cool! I'm so freaking keen, and I cannot wait. And being January, it'd be nice and warm, and I'm already seeing it. Like, it's happening.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And like I said, it's here in the event room, so it's going to be a nice, relaxed vibe. So food will be provided. It is part of the package. So unless you want something particularly special, we'll have nibbles here.
There's also shops around if you want to have a break. And
we've got our beautiful Kangen water, which is going to be really good for one of the exercises I have for us. So I won't reveal too much, but there is a water-related exercise.
Love that.
So we've got the beautiful Kangen water. There'll be lots of meditation. So it's going to be a really fun couple of days, guys.
I feel relaxed just thinking about it. Oh, I wish it was tomorrow.
I remember when I got my first attunement, and I reckon for about 2 weeks after that, nothing else in the world mattered. I went to work that week, and someone tried to choke someone else, and someone smashed something through someone's car, and all of this stuff happened, and I'm like, this is not my problem. It is. I will fix it, but it's not affecting me.
Yeah, you're not having the stress response that you normally would.
Yeah, you know what? It doesn't matter.
I got this.
It doesn't matter.
It's happening.
It's okay.
Not much I can do about it. So the acceptance is happening right now.
Yeah, so you find a real profound sense of inner peace when you get your attunement. I can't describe it. But as someone who, and as you know, I've spent a lot of my life in that really high stress, it's taking a lot of work. The peace that you get from an attunement is like nothing else.
So someone who suffers from anxiety, you're going to really benefit from this.
Absolutely. And again, Reiki is really good for self-regulation. So, when we talk about being activated, one of the things I do when I'm activated now is I put my hands on my heart and I channel my Reiki in and take a few deep breaths, and again, it's really powering down that activation. It's not taking it away, I'm still acknowledging what's happened, but it is just allowing that peace to take over and the rational mind to kick in.
That way your body doesn't have to have that stress response, which is what's making us sick. So really good stuff. I'm really keen. I've been saying itching for Katie to be ready. So when she comes down, it's like, oh, and by the way, it's like, yes!
Yeah. It's only taken me so long because, like I said, I want this to be the best that I can offer. So I've been making sure that everything I can do to make this as perfect as I can, I've been chucking into it. So, yeah.
Oh, awesome. Go you. I'm so keen. So please jump on it, guys. I'm looking forward. And whoever's going to be there, I want to be there. So
so Sarah's in the first intake.
Yeah, get to hang out with us. So it'll just be a good day. And this is what I love about group stuff. This is what I love about the group stuff I do. Just the connections you have in the room as well is so cool. It's networking, it's chatting, it's healing. A bunch of people getting together, just connecting is just something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Was there anything else you'd like to share before we wrap this up?
No, I don't think so. Just like I said, if you have any questions, please shoot them through. Maybe we can do a Q&A at some point. I'll make a post that we can put up.
Yep. I'll tag your page as well, so that you can follow Katie and keep up to date as she starts to advertise this. You guys are the first to find out. So
I haven't even told my own page yet.
Oh, that's great. I love that. I love the exclusive, guys. This will be shared around, and tell your friends if there's someone that you know that could really benefit from this. Get on it early, and if you need that payment plan, if you get in early, you can have it all ready to go by the January. So that's why I think it's good to have that time. I know with my stuff, sometimes people like to book in and then they sort of work towards it. Sort of makes it a lot more achievable at the moment. So definitely doable. Yeah,
and I do understand that it is an investment, but like I said, this is an investment for yourself that will pay over 1,000-fold. Once you've got it for life. So it's well worth it. And like I said, I'm willing to work with you. I get it. Times are challenging. So just let us know what we can do and we'll make it work.
That's it. And I really believe it's important to invest in yourself. It's one of the questions I ask all my clients, how much are you putting aside for self-development? And I wasn't. And I know now that I am, because the kind of person I am now, I know that I'm investing in myself in different ways, but even with simple books and things.
Well, that's it. It doesn't have to be financial, does it? And that's the thing. Once you've got your Reiki attunement, you're going to continue to invest in yourself, by your self-healings every day, by nourishing your body that little bit better. So it's a continual investment. You can't put a price on it because it's so beautiful. It's so much more connection to yourself.
So I really believe it's one of the things I have in my paperwork, is it's like the best investment is you. You can invest in a house and it depreciates, in a car, and things depreciate when you invest in other things. but the investment you make within, it's something that you get back. Like you said, you get back tenfold. So, yeah, I'm so keen.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Have an awesome day, guys. And
Yeah.
thank you so much for chatting with me. I'm really keen to get this out there and start advertising and get people on board because it's going to be a beautiful day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you're still watching, drop in the comments below what your biggest reason would be for signing up. I want to hear what everyone's thoughts are on that.
Yeah.
Whether it's for yourself or for your little kitty cat back home.
Yeah.
Why would you choose Reiki? Let us know.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. All right, have a beautiful, beautiful day.
Thank
Much
you.
love, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye, guys.